So
Segment two. What's segment
here,
two?
here in our second segment is something that we've deemed unpopular apps, and I guess the easiest way to say this is applications on our phones that aren't necessarily popular but that we use.
They're not
Um,
getting the attention they deserve. That's
sure,
why.
sure, that sounds good. They're not getting the attention they deserve.
Yeah.
Why don't you start with yours while I drink my beer?
Yeah. So on the right side, you'll see this red and blue show of hands thing, and I became interested in it. I think around the second presidential election of Obama, I want to say. And God, have I had this phone that long? Jeez. And the thing that drew me to it was that you didn't have to like. I don't know about you, but I've never really been polled ever in my life. You know, for even though polls are accurate after you get like 1,000 people in random places, whatever. Nobody has like an actual house phone, and if anybody could show us how inaccurate polls are, it's this last presidential election
Yeah.
where I mean, seriously, only old people have house phones. They won't poll people with cell phones, and everybody has a cell phone. So this is a way for me to get in my opinion, a more live, personal look at what people's opinions are. And they throw some silly questions in there too, but
What's show of hands? Okay.
show of hands, yeah. And they just ask random stuff. Like one of the questions recently was, "Do you think that you're legitimately smarter than Trump?" And the other question was, "Do you think you're legitimately smarter than Obama?" Right? And it was really
Okay.
interesting because people that thought they were smarter than Obama was only 30%,
Hmm.
and people that thought they were smarter than Trump was 55%. So,
That
which is
sounds pretty.
yeah, yeah. So, but the interesting thing is not that you see just those numbers. You can, as soon as you see a question you care about, you can click into it and see the demographics of the people that disagree or agree with you.
Oh,
So,
interesting. So you have to make a profile and everything before you
well, you don't
answer.
have to make a profile. I mean, it helps. You know, you
Yeah.
say what your race is if you feel comfortable with it, your religious affiliation if you feel comfortable with it, your registered or unregistered uh,
Voter.
yeah, the party that you identify
Yeah.
with most, um, and your age and your income range
So can you
and your
could you
education level.
submit questions or
There are people that submit questions. I don't know if I can or not. I haven't really tried, but I just answer the main. There's a bunch of like sub show of hands that I don't mess with. I just go with the main one. But they throw some silly ones in there, like they had like a pizza versus hot dogs one at one point. You know, little things, or hamburgers for hot dogs, little things like that. I
yeah,
think it's
hamburgers
really
are much
fun.
better.
And just every once in a while, I find myself in a situation where I am bored out of my mind and like at the DMV or something,
Hmm.
and boom, I answer like 100 show of hands questions, well more like 20. But yeah, no, it's really good fun, and then diving into it and showing the wife or a friend like, oh my God, can you believe all these idiots think this?
Yeah, does it
That's
tell
it's
you
just
the
fun.
amount of people that they have utilizing it to vote?
Yeah, well, they say this versus this. It's like 460 results or something like that. So yeah, you have
Oh.
an idea of the total scope of,
Is it
and I'm sure
usually a
that
pretty low number because this is an unpopular app?
I
So,
don't think it's a very popular. I mean, I haven't seen more than a couple thousand on there. So
okay. All
yeah,
right.
on any question. So
And I kind of if you go and you look, mine actually is something that everyone probably knows and has used before, at least on the computer. It's Google Translate. But if you go and you look in like the App Store, Google Translate has like no reviews on it, nothing on it, pretty much. And now I understand Google is extraordinarily popular, but the specific feature in the Google Translate app that I think is very, very underrated in this case is it has an ability from an application called WordLens that they got taken over by Google. They incorporated it into this new Google Translate
oh, so
app.
so there was an app already out there, and Google
Yeah.
liked it, so they bought the company.
So what it is that you can use your camera to point it at foreign text or a language that you don't recognize, and if you have it set to, let's just say, you set it from Spanish to English, which is pretty common in America. You
No,
set it to that, and you hold your phone up, and you can look at a sign or a menu, and it'll
well, how far away are we
translate.
talking? Like, do you have to be like, within spitting distance?
No, it's just got to be able to read it. So as long as the text is readable, it'll try and translate it.
Well, okay, so I'm driving in the car and
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a different country.
Sure.
I see a road sign and I'm holding my phone up the whole way. I pass the
It'll
road
it'll
sign.
instantly try to translate it. However, if you take a photo of it, it can you can highlight the text that you're trying to translate, and it can translate it right then, but it's on the fly attempting to translate it the entire time. It's just you probably wouldn't want to. First off, you shouldn't be You shouldn't be driving and holding your phone up. Come on.
No, but like
I
the
mean, Joe.
navigator, in the passenger seat,
Yeah. No. I
he's
mean,
got the phone up or something.
the thing is that with most of those signs, you already know what they are because the majority of signs, especially on driving on the freeway, are the similar or same shapes, regardless of what country you're in. You know what they are going to mean. Um, but if you're in a different country, you're probably not driving with signs you're unfamiliar with. In other words, if you're going over, 30 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour, I doubt you'd be able to have it recognized very easily. But I mean, for instance, I've got some Japanese figures here with some Japanese text on the boxes, and
Oh,
it,
okay.
it translates those pretty awesomely. Like right away, I just kind of like hold my phone over it, and it gets it very well. A lot more than I could translate off of it for damn sure. And it's a function that I think people don't really know about. Like if you think
Hold
translate,
on. So when you hold it over top, like does it overlay
it
the word
overlays
on top,
words. Yeah,
like where the other one is,
hmm
like,
it
and
tries its
it'll.
best to take the same sizing as the word that it's translating.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Japanese characters, there's no way that it would take up the same amount of space. So like, how does
Yeah,
it?
you'd think so, but it does a pretty good job. And
Huh.
my suggestion would be just to it's a small app, download it. The only thing that you kind of get a
You have
little
to
bit
log
far away
in.
on, no, it's just if you're going to use the camera function, you have to download a text library basically, and that could be like
Mm.
40 or 50 megs depending on what language you're using.
But you don't
So
have to log in.
no, you don't have to log in.
Okay, that's
So
pretty cool.
my biggest suggestion would be like download it, get like the Spanish to English one, or go somewhere that has Spanish on it and hold it up and see how good it works because it's pretty fucking phenomenal. It can do it off of your monitor also is the other thing because it's just text. So
Yeah.
as long as your phone camera can read the text, it'll try and translate it for you, and it's pretty fucking phenomenal at it.
Nice.
But again, they took the feature from an app called Word Lens, and that was very not very much used at the time, but it was a suggested app maybe like 7 or 8. I want to say maybe like 6 or 7 years ago. Not
Wow.
7 or 8. 6 or 7 years ago, I saw it as an app that people had suggested getting that was like a useful app. And when I tried it, I was just astonished at how good it is. And
Hmm.
it seems like it's even better now that it's on Google Translate. So, you know, definitely check it out. You should check it out because I think you really would enjoy it. But and in fact, you have a foreign beer right in front of you, so maybe you could translate something on the bottle. But
Foreign beer?
Modelo.
Oh.
But
Well, there's nothing in
yeah,
Mexican
they're
on
made.
this.
It's not Mexican, you
I
fuck.
assure you, Modelo isn't a Mexican beer.
It's Spanish, asshole.
No, it's not Spanish. Spain is a different country altogether, you racist.
So, anyways, I think we digress here. So let's go ahead and so these two apps, maybe check them out if you got some time, guys. We're gonna move on to our third and final segment.
Oh, yeah.